1K, 2K, 5K, no limit. Here from the Maestro Resort and Casino in Montenegro. Mystery card time. Andy Knees holding will be obfuscated as he makes it 11,000 here in this straddle pot. Ace King suited for Esti Wang. We know which direction this one's headed.
Upstairs. Just how much?
There's your answer. 35 dimes.
So it is +1 versus the hijack. Relatively early positions.
Andy hanging in. This one swells. Board comes Jack 7 deuce. Only one heart out there. $82,000 in the middle.
Ace King is 2 overs. Do tend to see a lot of C-bets on this type of flop with Ace King, especially with the backdoor hearts. He's going to check it. We know he's been tricky. That 10 of hearts is spicy.
Gut shot, Broadway draw, nut flush draw. It's coming together a little bit for a hand that wasn't all too keen on the flop. Now let's see if on the turn.
I could see this go either way for ST after you check the flop. Again, check 2 again.
Well, the Ace King has showdown as well, I guess, as part of the calculus, Randy.
And also, I don't ever feel like I get a better hand to fold once I check.
And how about this? Jack of hearts on the river. Board pairing nut flush now.
I mean, how good is that for ST? Now he's hoping that Andy's got a jack or better.
Well, not too much
I mean,
better.
yeah, I thought about that statement. I was going to retract. I was like, yeah, I won't, but I regret it. 52K coming in.
And once again, not unlike that spot where Ivy with the lone 10 of hearts on the 4 flush board found the raise against hands. We're left wondering whether or not ST would pursue value. I think holding the king of hearts is unpleasant with the nut flush in this spot because obviously you want to unblock the second nut flush.
Okay, sure, but I feel like this is a mandatory raise, especially how the hand's been playing out. Flop check through, turn check through. Andy often bets a turn with like 2 pair or a set, so we discount the boats quite a bit. We do want to try to get value from worse flushes. A Jack X will be put in a spot where they might feel they have to call. And he's kind of sized, what, 52K. It's not like near pot where, oh, my opponent's playing polar. It is reasonable for Andy to have hands to bet call with that is worse than the flush here. And keep in mind, ST can kind of represent one of those ace of heart blocker bluffs, you know what I mean?
And I think the longer that he takes to make this decision, the more maybe Andy is going to perceive that as apprehension. We see the 135,000 coming in. We await Andy's response as suddenly over $250,000 is in the middle.
Yeah, this is disgusting if you're Andy and you're holding like an ace jack, a king jack, trips. But wow, he's all of a sudden coming with jam.
Snap regretting this choice is ST.
Yeah, now you throw up.
I mean, barf bag to the main game.
We've seen ST make some good hero folds yesterday.
Get another table.
By the way, this all-in came in quick, Randy.
It did.
As though the conclusion was always foregone with respect to what Andy wanted to do if ST did raise.
447.
First thing to keep in mind, ST most likely believes that Andy would never do this with a worse flush. That wouldn't really make sense the way this one's playing out. Him holding the ace of hearts is actually kind of important. Makes the call on Queen 10, making the rebluff. ST.
但对死打了。
哇，那 flush。
$976,000 pot going his way.
I'm going to round that one up and just say we had ourselves a $1 million pot just now. And this
我选择大了应该就不会 fold 了，但是我这里没有 fold 是可以好赢。
$47,000 bluff.
对啊，10勾吧，10勾同花两个。
10勾很可能已经4路打了。
You can see Elton kind of reflecting on whether or not there were other paths that he could have pursued. That outcome there greatly aided by his choice to, as you put it, unpredictably, unexpectedly check raise the king-8 on that flop. And then, of course, Tan very much unexpectedly 3-betting.
Also, Elton doesn't reload 500,000. He's back in for $1 million.
Oh, boy.
He's here to play.
Fives. Taking us up to 11,000.
上头了，上头了。
And flopping bottom set. Elton's hand. Blocked from our view, and for his sake, we hope it doesn't contain an ace or a king, as he defended his straddle and now faces a follow-through of 9,000. Still in there.
你开牌3打了是吧？
Two-tone queen of spades.
Both of these players are stuck. Andy looking to get some value here. 2 flush draws. Gut shots arrive. Jack-10 does get there, but no reason to stop betting with a hand like this.
$37K, and Elton still hanging around here, Randy. $122K pot, and a backdoor flush board pairing ace of spades shows up. Yes, Andy has a boat now, but
He doesn't need to be worried about a bigger boat normally, because ace-king, ace-queen, kings, and queens, they're going to 3-bet, right? Because Elton closed the action pre. The most likely only boat he loses to is ace-5 in this spot. Look at Andy. Pot size, trying to get max. Maybe hoping that Elton backed into a flush.
我上头了，兄弟，别搞我了。
Elton calls with ace-deuce.
oh my.
That's a downswing.
打的就是上头。
Don rubbing a little bit of salt in the wound that he opened initially.
真的上头。
I'm alive, I'm alive.
Mystery card time for Hands, who makes it 10,000.
Average holding here for Tan in the straddle. He's coming in, no doubt.
That's an above average holding for Tan in the straddle.
But it's an average hand in general. But I hear you. That hand picks up middle pair and open and straight draw. Problem is it's queen jack 10, and that's very heavy in the pre-flop open range. They've got ace king. They're uncapped.
Middle pair. Bad end of the straight draw. Check calls the 10K follow through. And now jacks and nines, 4-liner on board. Ton, quick check. 48 in the middle. Let's see if Hands is going to represent.
Could easily have it as well and
Yeah.
cut off, right?
We simply don't know, and neither does Tan, as we play this one from his perspective.
So against a 25K bet, I could see Tan check calling. He might have the best hand. He's got outs to a boat in case he's up against a king. Here's the call. And once he check calls a turn, it's very difficult for hands to bluff once more. 4 on the river. Tan Xuan just basically hoping, please check it back.
He was drawn to the boat for the 25K, but now he's very much adrift against almost any sizing on the end. That would be normal, and 60K could be considered just that, 2/3.
60% really does look like he's milking king and Tan Xuan. Grabbing the calling chips. He seems suspicious. This is a big call, if he was to find it.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, nice bluff by hands.
ace high, and Tan, one of the more difficult people to get a bluff through on here at this table, made a believer.
That was nice.
It was wild because he had his hand in his left hand and he had 60K in his right hand, and you didn't know which of the two things was going into the middle.
And you know, Hans didn't even know. He was like, oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Dicey.
That was a relief.
Jared. Esh.
Just naming names now.
No, he says best stream, great commentators.
Oh, okay.
Really a good game here.
Okay, so he's got a whole paragraph there. All right, nice. What's up, Jared? Queen 6 of hearts from Andy. He's going to open it up.
没事来玩。
追求别人叫我去。
新加坡喝酒。
What you got, Paul?
喝酒啊。
这绝对是。
Not
Unclear.
going to know. As we're playing the mystery card game, blocking out with intent. Boss is holding as he ventures up against Andy on the King 8-4, 1 heart board, 20 in the middle.
哎，玩完了。
7K C bet.
Usually he takes it down on the flop. Not this time.
Calling. Is Boss holding his breath for this pot?
No, it's
This is
kind of
peculiar.
odd.
最近很忙了，没空玩了。
Doesn't look that pleased.
不，其他事情也很忙。
Check back from Andy on the turn. 10 on the river.
I would think that Paul's got the best hand usually. For him to check call and see this run out.
Maybe some inside straight draws between the 8 and the 4 would be the ones that the queen high would beat, which are being blocked by the 6 of hearts, mind you. We see Paul firing 20 into 34.
Yeah, but I don't think Andy's thinking about calling with just queen
No,
high.
obviously.
That'd be insane. But those are calling chips in his hand. And he's kind of like going... Seems like he's between call or fold, doesn't it? Just based on his body language.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a raise, which is what we would maybe expect more.
Well, if you're trying to pick off those middling straight draws that you mentioned, the 6 of hearts in your hand is not ideal.
But we are unblocking spades. Oh my
Whoa.
goodness, he does call. And it was the inside straight draw.
What? Andy?
哇，一个缺抓我。哇妈的，一个缺抓我。哇，你怎么抓的那个牌？
这个牌我感觉
还在买花？
没有啊，我感觉是查顺一样的，有一点查顺。
形象那么好，你这也敢抓，也太夸张了吧？
我不拖你了，我香了。